stuck in my head. I wonder if you sing it all. Yeah, I feel like you sing
I didn't sing it this time.
You didn't? Okay.
No, I have to be really careful about my feet because I know the thing is on the floor.
I know.
So.
Well, that was me. I knocked it over.
No. So we don't get those.
Oh, yes.
No.
Okay.
No.
No. Which is not easy for me.
You don't have to hold still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I am ready.
Okay.
I'm pumped and ready to go.
Do you need a snack?
No, I'm okay. I'm good. This is a fun one. Actually, can I have a snack?
Huh?
Yeah, can I?
I'm going to get a snack.
No, but
Watch my feet go.
But I would love a honey bun. That is so nice of you. Never say no to honey buns. How do I do that? Thank you. Appreciate you.
Huh? No worries.
Go.
This is what we're doing.
Cheers to you. Here we go.
All right.
Today's episode is fun.
It ain't about honey buns, but it is about something sort of sweet.
Yeah, we already did the honey buns episode, so go back and listen. It's a funny one.
Watch Christina eat her first
Yeah,
honey bun.
it was so good.
I need to put that on YouTube.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, we should.
Okay,
So today we're talking about pet culture.
yes.
The differences between pets that we own.
Well, this is particular about white people and white people,
Yeah,
but
those are the two cultures.
that's what we're familiar with. So, sorry, this is not non-white.
Yeah.
White and non-white, because
Right.
I actually try to come from a place.
We do, but I just don't know any other cultures and their pet habits.
Maybe that's something to look up.
That'd be really fun.
Just a little bit. So, pet culture. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, where did this come from? I don't
I'm
really
gonna tell
remember.
you.
You remember? I don't remember.
Because my husband was talking something about pets.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, we were listening to comedy on the radio. And the guy was like, man, my dog, I don't know how white people do it. He was like, when I get ready to go out of town, I give my dog a bowl full of food, leave the back door unlocked, and tell him, now this is your food for the week until I get back. You better deal with it. And don't shake my house or whatever he said. He was like, but I was listening to this white guy or whoever who was like, hey, get ready to go out of town. We got to find a dog hotel and somewhere to send our pet before we go out of town. He's like, I ain't wasting that money on that dog. And then he's like, then you come back and your dog's all anorexic. And I'm like, and you're like, I told you not to eat all that food the first day. Like a dog's going to exercise some self-control. Right. But yeah.
That's so funny. Well, there is something to that because white people are obsessed with dogs. Like that is, they're like part of the family. And I never really thought about it before, But we just talk about it could be some privilege when you're spending, I've seen people spend thousands of dollars on a dog that's so small. I don't understand.
Girl, listen. Dogs, cats alike, because there's some specialty cats out there.
There are some specially
hairless
cats.
Austin Powers dog.
Yeah. Oh God, those are so. Oh my God, that creeps me out.
Really?
The hairless cats?
Yeah, they creep you out.
Oh, they're so ugly.
They look like rats.
Yeah, that's not creepy to you. Oh my God, I can't imagine that crawling around my house.
I don't know.
But no, it's true. I mean, I think part of it's probably privilege. Part of it's I don't know what it is. I mean, the way people dress their dogs.
Yeah.
And then I was reading an article from The Roots that was super funny. It was like an open letter to white people about their dogs. And it said, why do white people are obsessed with bringing their dogs everywhere? And I was like, that's so true. He's like, I think it's nasty when, you bring your dog to, a restaurant.
But they have, cat cafes now.
They do. That is a thing.
We have one here.
Do we? I never
Yes.
have not been there.
Yes, one open locally.
That sounds nasty to
It's
me.
here.
But this also reminds me, too, of it's kind of an offshoot, but, goat yoga. Have you heard of
What?
it? You know what goat yoga is?
Hell no.
It's definitely a white people thing.
What is it?
It's exactly what it sounds like. Kevin Hart did it. It's it's all white people, but he did an episode where he did goat yoga. And it's just so funny. You do yoga and little goats are running around you and jumping on top of you.
Why?
And pooping too. I don't know. It's supposed to keep you centered. You're supposed to stay in the moment, it's a challenge.
So, okay. So it's a mental fitness
It's a mental
as well
fitness
as
thing. Yeah.
physical fitness.
Yeah. Baby
And
goats.
this is
It's
somebody's
baby goats.
baby goats. This is
Yeah.
somebody who owns
This
goats.
is a thing.
So that too is interesting with pet culture is that I don't remember growing up and having weird pets. Like, okay, well, my cousin did have a guinea pig, which was like but they had money.
Yeah.
They had like,
that is,
and they like had a guinea
or
pig.
bunny rabbits?
Never.
Really? Not
Bunny? Yes, my kids want a bunny, and I'm like, oh, no.
You have 2 little birds. I love them.
I do. I love my birds. I grew up with birds.
Did you?
Yeah, I grew up with birds.
Yeah.
I mean, and we love
Birds
birds.
are inexpensive, right? Or...
They're not crazy expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of time to clean up after them and stuff like that.
They're so cheap.
That is a cheap birds, the poor man's pet.
Yeah, that's right. And the food is probably cheap. Like, I mean,
yes.
that's a cheap pet to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the poor man's pet.
We could train some of the mice in the basement. But I know people that have like
or they have guinea pigs, they have bunnies.
Rats and mice and things like that.
That scares me.
Girl, no.
That's not a white person thing. I think you said that's a weird.
That's a weird person thing.
And snakes.
See, but my same cousin that had the guinea pig, also they had snakes.
Oh God, I had a cousin who had a rat, a white rat.
Stop.
I can't. That's how I feel. I can't.
Why?
I can't.
Why?
Or lizards. People love lizards. You know, like those, like big, like or iguanas.
Okay. My brother had an iguana, I will tell you.
Okay.
His name was Don. Okay, he had Don the iguana, and then he had Godzilla. And he would put this thing on a damn leash and walk it outside.
Did you like it?
I couldn't mess with it. I would let the dogs get out and mess with it.
That's
I mean,
funny.
I'm going to tell you that thing would whip its tail and smack. But that was that was a privilege pet.
Right.
Because I feel like he lobbied. My parents divorced when we were really young.
Yeah.
But I think he lobbied between the two.
Oh,
or he played on my mom's kind of like guilt giving.
Like,
and
okay,
got
I
a
get
pet.
this too. Yeah.
And got Don.
Because those are expensive. Because then there's also like, you have to get the special lamps, like a heat lamp.
Well, I'll tell you, it is kind of cheap. Okay, so getting the iguana, depending on the size, not too expensive. The cage is where, the case is where it's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to get the light, but if you're like my mom, you go to Home Depot, get the, instead of going to the pet store and getting, man, she can chip rig anything. Let me just say
That's awesome.
My mom can chip rig anything. But anyway, so like, that is, so iguanas and fish.
Yeah, fish.
Fish.
Is that a white person thing?
Well, I'm going to tell you, fish, it just depends on, fish has a certain brand of people.
Yeah.
But, I mean, goldfish and beta.
Yeah. Oh, I love beta fishes.
Cheapest
They're
things
so
you can
easy.
get.
I love those. I had those because you could put they were pretty too. You put the plant, and then they eat off of like as decoration.
And you can feed a beta for 2 or 3 years.
So easy.
Off of $4.
Yeah. Also the poor man's pet.
The poor man's pet.
But we did talk here, not to bring it back to serious, but like dogs were used against black people in the 1960s.
Right.
Civil rights, So what's your opinion on that? Do you think our older generation?
I know for a fact I've got some, and the older I get, the more I realize they are not crazy. So I need to stop calling these people crazy uncles and crazy aunts because they I have people that are deathly afraid of dogs.
Yeah.
Like
your family.
deathly afraid, like will not deal with dogs. Will
there
not.
be some PTSD with that?
I would imagine so, and I would say I think it's. I don't ever remember my cousins in the South having like dogs and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's who it was. My cousin Theo or somebody weird that was down in Arkansas. Like hell no.
Right.
No dogs. No dogs.
Right.
Pretty much.
And if their parents raised them like that, then maybe they would be like that too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It gets perpetuated.
Right. And so you don't keep them.
Some of the wildest civil rights pictures you see are to me
dogs.
Are the ones where the people are attacking the dogs.
And that's passed down generationally.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, and unhealthy.
And that's something you don't have to think about ever as a white person.
No.
You know what I mean?
Of why some people might be like definitely afraid of dogs.
Right, or why you wouldn't have dogs or German Shepherds or
Especially not no German Shepherd.
Right. I don't like German Shepherds either.
Well, you don't?
They're just so aggressive. I'm a cat person, so I have cats. I don't know if that's a white person thing too, like to be obsessed with cats. But I am. I have 2 cats and I'm obsessed with them. But yeah, I just like peace.
So this is a good time. At Sailor
Cat Skipper, thank you.
Skipper.
Yeah, I'll shout out my cat Instagram.
You better shout it out right now.
I'm embarrassed because I just love my cats. And so I take pictures of them. So I wonder, is that a way to do something too, to like have Instagram accounts for your pets?
We should do the logs and see how many
We should.
Instagram pet.
Are owned by
accounts.
white people.
Matter of fact, let's Google this. Let's look this up.
Especially
Our
like
most
cat accounts. So I will say this, and it's going to be a stereotype. I hope it's not offensive, but I have noticed I'm part of a cat group on Facebook. I know.
What?
And oh yeah, people just post pictures of their cats. But what I was going to say is it's a lot of Asians. Asians love cats. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of especially I think it's
For dinner.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say no, not Japan and China. Like I think Japan loves cats.
That's a stereotype.
That's a
People say
stereotype.
that
But I
they
think
eat
it's true though.
They eat
You
cats.
should not eating cats. No, loving cats.
Loving cats?
Yeah.
Well, Hello Kitty chime.
Oh, is that
Hello
from?
Kitty.
Is that Asian?
Yeah.
Japanese. Okay, right. Because it's so funny in my little group. It's all these Asians playing like weird music and dancing with their cats. I'm not kidding.
First of all, where do they make cat groups?
I mean, there's a group for everything. But it's just so pure. I love it. It's like people will post, I'm having a bad day. Please send me pictures of your cats.
Really?
I mean, it can be therapeutic. I mean, why do you think people love watching like YouTube videos with cats? They're so cats are funny. I know that they're boring compared to dogs to some people, but I don't think so. Especially when you have two of them.
So, I will tell you, we don't watch cat ones. The kids love cats, but we watch dog ones because dogs are hilarious.
Yeah, dogs are funny.
They're hilarious. Like, running into walls. Well, cats do too. It's just, I don't know. So, what I know is a long time ago, I watched Cosmos.
Yeah.
Do you remember? So, what is his name? He's the most formidable astronomer.
Oh, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, that's my guy. Okay,
Yeah.
So he did this show called Cosmos.
Yeah.
Where he talked about pets, and he talks about in the beginning of time, our relationships with dogs came from dogs domesticating us.
Oh.
So what happened was they saw us. Yeah, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because I think about how trained I am to my dogs right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these guys.
Oh yeah.
So they came, the dogs or wolves, and saw that we caught, like we were hunters, we did all these things, and that we would leave our scraps and they could eat them. So they would hang out. Instead of attacking us, they would hang out and wait for
They're smart.
Absolutely. And then they've gotten so that there became a relationship where it was like, all right, I get your scraps and I'll also help you hunt.
Yeah. Wow.
So dogs actually trained us to feed them.
Yeah,
and then they decided to help us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dogs are smart.
Fuckers.
They are smart. I know, and they know it. They're cute too.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bruce.
Bruce. My husband also says dogs are like the 1% of the human animal kingdom.
Okay.
So like
I can see that.
The 1%ers.
They certainly get treated like it, I feel like.
They have to be.
Yeah.
What other pet in this world has it like all and it's handed to them?
All of it. Yeah.
All of it.
And everybody loves dogs unless you're a little afraid of them. But like, yeah, dogs are higher on the chain than cats even.
Yeah. At least I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I Googled about the Instagram pets. It goes, how to start an Instagram pet for count for your dog. How to make money with your pet on Instagram.
Oh my God.
Hold on. Most popular, watch this. Most popular
accounts on Instagram.
Okay. Uh-oh. Sharing study. Okay. This dog. What?
I can't.
Look, okay. You got I Am Little Lightbulb, which is a kitten, promoting animal rescue. Okay, so I get there's with the claws.
Yeah.
1.7 million followers this cat has. Wait a minute, who's this? What is this dog? 1.7 for Loki, the wolf dog. Oh my God.
I love Tuna. You've never seen Tuna Melts My Heart?
No, I've never seen
Oh my God, Tuna. I gotta find Tuna. He has an overbite. It's a white family too. They're from Ohio. for what it's worth.
Tuna has $1.9 million.
What kind of dog is Tuna Meltzer?
Tuna is a Chiweenie, so is it a mixture between a Chihuahua and and a...
He has an overbite.
What the fuck?
He's the cutest. He's the cutest dog. So you guys, this is gonna make you happy. Like, you have to go look up Tuna.
Okay.
Melts my heart.
Tuna, let me
Tuna
see
melts
Tuna.
my heart.
Does Tuna melt your heart?
Yeah. He has an overbite. I'm telling you, bro, you have to follow it.
Listen.
They're the cute. It is the cutest account. Look at this. Oh, this last one, I'll show you. I mean, but he's this little dog, and he's ugly.
So people like that. You know, we like the charm and dog. But let me just tell you, like, his people are making bank. Gotta be. 1.9 million.
No, they are.
I don't want an advertisement computer. Juniper?
Oh, that's a cute one.
Juniper Fox? Oh, that's
It's
a fox?
That's cool. I've heard that before.
It's a fox that thinks he's a
pets.
dog.
Oh my god.
2 million followers. Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, that's an ugly dog.
what is it? And what is the name? Marnie? Marnie the dog? A rescue. Oh, she's a senior citizen. Shout out to giving the geriatric dog.
Right.
I'm sure that hand is a Caucasian.
Yes. All
European
of them have
American.
been Caucasian so far.
The
Another white one.
the real Grumpy Cat.
I love Grumpy Cat.
Grumpy Cat got his own cartoon show.
Does he really?
Merchandise.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Well, these people, you can't fault them. They're smart.
Listen here. Grumpy Cat also has a European American owner.
Yep.
Shiba
Shibas are
Inu
beautiful.
Maru. So it's Maruto, Marutaro.
He's living in Japan.
2.6 million followers.
How is this possible?
So he's in Japan. So again, it speaks back to kind of what you're saying. It's not a cat, but this fucking dog. Doug the pug.
I can't stand pugs. Do you like
My sister loves pugs.
So I feel like they look like they ran into a door and smashed their face.
Better leave them dogs
I
alone.
know.
So we have a huge in our neighborhood. We have a bark park, and every year there's this thing called
bark park. That's fun.
the Pugapalooza. No, we have a bark park. It's a dog park.
Yeah.
But the Pugapalooza happens every year, and there's so many damn pugs there.
That's cute.
But none of them are Doug the pug with 3
3 million followers.
Doug is dressed up with a raincoat.
Come on, it's cute. That is cute. You can't.
All right, we're getting to the top of this list. Nala the cat.
Nala, okay. Another white person. Or no, she looks Asian.
That look at that, she looks Asian. And look at that cat. Y'all need to Nala underscore cat. All right, we're getting to the top of this list.
Oh, I love that. I follow him too. Oh my god, Pomeranians are cute. But they go back to that, what we were talking about. Jif Pom they're so expensive.
Yeah. There
is a privilege to own these dogs.
There is. You've got to have the money to get these dogs, right?
Yeah, you have to.
So this is Jif the Pom. You follow Jif?
I do.
Jif like peanut butter?
He's just so cute. He poses with celebrities and everything.
Well, I'm going to tell you, choosy moms choose Jif, and I do.
Do you?
I only use Jif peanut butter. Only.
Is it
my
good
kids,
taste?
I don't know, but I will hurt my kids. If you bring something in here other than Jif, I will hurt you.
So funny.
My son was in the store and made a joke the other day. It was like, Mom, would you like some of this? It was like Peter Pan or something weird.
Yeah.
I said, boy, do you want to go home? You want to have a mother? Wait, this dog, 7.4 million followers for this damn dog.
I don't even know how you do that. I mean, what?
I don't know. People just love your dogs. He was number one.
So I think we saw that all of those are the top ones were all white people.
Listen, it is not, none of those people were African American. Let me just say that. Just like.
So there is a whole pet culture.
There's a whole pet culture. Yes.
Yeah.
And the lady talking about the Westminster dog show.
I watched the YouTube. I don't like that, but again, when you watch that, it's all white people there.
She even said it. She was like, this Westminster Shire, whatever it is, dog show is in Madison Square Garden. I can't think of the guy's show, but she's like, and you think about it, the judges, the people watching it.
All white.
All white.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't think there was a black person there. I was like,
which makes me wonder, what is that? Like, again, we talked about the privilege, but is it, I don't know why white people love their pets so much.
Grooming them and...
Oh, yeah, putting them in clothes.
Putting them in clothes. I mean, I know people that that do it. I mean, I know.
Yeah, you
non-white
can't say.
people that-
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not.
But it is prominent.
It's
one
prominent
community.
in our culture.
Hell to them. Hell to them.
Yeah, it's funny. And what about black people and cats? Do they like cats? I feel like
I
that's
don't know a lot of. I mean, my cousin Tasha
as a cat.
loved a cat. She had a cat named. It was his name Leo. Had this cat for like 20-something years.
Aww.
She's like but she's a cat person.
I
She's
don't
got
know
a
if that's
personality for a
exactly. I don't think that it's like that one's not white or black. I think it's like you're a cat person or a dog person.
Okay, would you allow your pet to lick you in the mouth?
No, I would not. But I do know white people that do that. I would let, like your dog, I would let him lick my face.
Yeah, he loves
He's cute. I love your dog.
Bruce is there. Bruce is on the couch right now, and where no one else is snuggled up under or inside of a blanket.
I don't know how he does that.
Because
He's a person.
a whole person.
Yeah.
Yep. But here's the question that I saw
Yeah.
out there: is can pets be racist?
You know, I don't think so.
Look at your face.
I had to pause on that one. I don't.
Can a pet be
think-
racist?
Can they be trained to react to certain people groups? Yes.
I think pets are like your little citizens, your people.
They can reflect their owners.
It's that, yes. And if you don't domesticate them early with people that
Yeah.
look different from them,
Yeah. I didn't
they
think
can
about
grow
that.
an aggression
Yeah,
towards
towards
people
certain
that don't
people. Yeah.
look like the people that are around them
Right.
every day.
So the pet isn't racist. It's just been
Pets can't think that deeply.
no.
That's what
So it's been ingrained in them. So like that's
That's
interesting.
bias.
I never thought about that. So were those dogs trained to like see a black person?
No, you're talking about back in the
Yeah.
I think the police
Were they
dogs were
just
trained
sick?
to do a job.
Yeah.
And they did that job. And then I think dogs in there, it just, if you're being, it's like, you're told that this is your job to do, you're going to get bad guys when you hear this word. This is the guys you're going to get.
Right.
And if consistently that person looks a certain way,
Yeah.
then you start to associate that just like a child would.
Mhm.
You start to associate
that with bad.
Mhm.
Oh, I never.
If you're
thought about
constantly
That's
told
scary.
that, yeah.
It's like a person.
I mean, we're animals just like they are.
That's what I was gonna say.
Domesticated.
It's almost like
Are you
this is
getting
habit.
sleepy? Are you tired? You look sleepy.
I am.
I can tell.
I don't know why. It's
I'm
just
like-
like a day.
Listen, Christina needs to take some naps. I can just tell by your face.
I
We
know.
need to wrap this up, B. So Christina can take some.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Don't be
why.
sorry, but you look tired.
Yeah,
Listen,
it's the middle of
not-
the campaign season, so I'm.
Tell them about it. Tell them about it.
Well, I'm on campaign season, so it's event after event after event. It's fun. I got it. This one got me into it, and now I can't get out of
Can't
it.
get
I
out.
love,
She got-
I mean, I love it and hate it.
I didn't get you into it. It's you and yourself
That's
got you
true.
into it.
I know, but you're
You
during candidate, and then I ran a campaign, and I got a bug. So
got a bug.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I gotta go home and snuggle my cats.
You gotta- yes, we gotta get her home,
Yeah.
but we gotta make sure we have enough content. Do we?
How long are we?
We are at like 24 minutes.
That's not bad. Do you want to talk about the
Well, speaking of campaigns,
Oh,
Right?
Yeah. Well,
So-
the governor campaign.
yeah.
Yes.
So there's been a lot of talk about
Yeah, Cat.
the
Who
race.
is it? Is it what's his name?
It's the race in
There's
Georgia.
a governor's race in Georgia, and he is running against the first Stephanie Abrams, right?
Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams, and she's the first African American woman governor. Would be.
Could be.
Could be.
Potentially be.
And it's like really close. We were just looking at the statistics. It was like 47% to like 45%, like showing
Yeah,
support.
they're super
It's close.
Like,
It's close. And then they were talking about, so the guy she's running against is the Secretary of State. And Secretary of State, for people who don't know, deals with voting.
with elections, yeah,
The
Department of
elections and voting.
Mhm.
And it was so interesting. They were saying, what was it? Oh, that if your name didn't appear exactly as the way you registered it, like if it didn't match your ID and the way you wrote it on your application, you couldn't vote.
Couldn't vote. That's one. And
So
then-
is that, and so we were talking about, is that voter suppression?
Is it voter suppression? When it disproportionately affects a community, I think that there is, again, because we just did an episode about white supremacy
Right.
coloring so many things.
Right.
I just think that somewhere in there, the intent is to keep, I feel like I would be remiss to say that somewhere in there you don't recognize that there is. Why is it such a disproportionate number of 70%? I think she said
it was 70%
of the names that are being affected
Well,
by
and
this.
we talked about, for me, because I had a different view at first. I was like, well, I do see him enforcing the law because you're supposed to, you have
Absolutely.
to. And I registered people to vote for a job and just many different times. And, we would have to throw out applications that had one thing wrong, right? So you get someone to register to vote, and then they turn it into someone to check to make sure all the things are checked off. Because it's that serious. I mean, you can't have misinformation on there. But what we talked about was, is there a system in place to contact those voters? Because here there was. Like, it was my responsibility, because I was paid to do it, as the person that registered them to vote, and call them, because there's a phone number, and say, hey, there's a mistake on your application, can you fix it? But it doesn't sound like that's happening there.
Yeah, so I agree with you in the sense of, if there's a system in place to purge, there should be a system in place to notify.
Right.
There's no way that I should show up to the polls and be like, oh shit, I can't vote.
And that's what scares me. Because at first I was like listening, I'm like, that doesn't bother me. I mean, if your name's misspelled, like, that's a big deal. I'm not saying it's anyone's fault, because people make mistakes all the time, but it is the government's responsibility. From what I've seen, it should be to correct that.
Yeah.
And it is voter suppression if you're not given the opportunity.
If you're not.
And then the other thing we were talking about is, like, which seems so ridiculous to me, that if you haven't voted in X amount of years, in some states you need to re-register, but you don't know until you show up.
Until you show up. And that is part of the reason, the only reason why these states are able to do this is because of them striking down that section 4.
Yeah, we need that. We talked about that.
We talked about it on our voting.
That was recent.
On our voting episode.
Yeah.
That fairly recently, that they took out a chunk of the Voters' Rights Act that allowed states to do these sorts of things, to come up with these sorts of things. And it's like, why do you want to do this? And then to people that are not voting, that are like, I'm not going to vote, my vote doesn't matter. If your vote doesn't matter, why do you think it's so many people trying to keep you from voting?
Yeah.
Vote.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
And it keeps white supremacy in place, quite simply.
It keeps the laws, it keeps racism, that system in place.
Right.
So it's like, look, there are states where there are people who admittedly will do whatever it takes to stay in power. We know this. I'm the first person to say, like, we need term limits for everybody.
Yeah.
Because there are people who take
there's mayors that have been in for 20, 30 years.
That's so fucked up. Like, your city changes, but you don't have to.
Yeah, and because there's low voter turnout for local elections. We know that personally.
But if you know, if you're in a position to make sure that people, vote, that they exercise their right and understand that it is a privilege. I'm thinking about my son this weekend, talking about, is voting a right, a privilege, even a responsibility?
Wait, asked that?
Yeah, girl, I recorded it because I'm going to put it on my IG. But it was like, yes, if you have people who understand that this is their right and they are willing to do their responsibility and haven't lost that privilege, why would you do things to stifle that?
Well, and also they were talking about in the article that we read, like, someone had to, like, re-register 40 times.
Go to the site 40 times?
Yeah. I mean, why would, like, you're so busy, like, it should not be that difficult. Like, that in my mind is the responsibility of your government.
Absolutely.
Like, not even hands down, that's not even a question. To make the I mean, even just as a military spouse here, it took me 3 or 4 times to register to vote because they kept telling me to go online, but I don't have a Virginia license. And so, and what made it worse is the person in the office of election or whatever it's called, didn't know my situation. She didn't know. I was
understand
like,
that was even a possibility.
Right. I was like, no, ma'am, I don't have an ID. Like, I don't have a Virginia ID. And she said, oh, well, then I think you have to come in. I was like, I think, like, what do I, so this should be an easy process. This should be, especially, I think for military, right? Like, this should be something that our government is thinking about because we are the government. We move around. Anyway.
You're right.
But it's just like, things aren't easy. It's not easy to register to vote. It's not easy to show up to vote. It's not easy to know where your polling place is.
Yeah, and you got a situation, like you said, where there's not much accountability
No.
on the side of the government, because even with the military, at each installation, I shit you not, when I was stationed at my last duty station, I asked to become one of the voting assistants. It's called like that voter assistance program or whatever. And your job is to make sure that the service members and their people understand what it means to have their vote, how they can register. But you've got people who take this collateral on that do shit with it.
Because they don't care.
Because it's an off year, because it's not. And I remember the guy who was over it, I said, hey, we need to make sure that we are putting something out about local elections for people that are Florida residents, and then for people that are not Florida residents, understanding when their local election is, how we can do that. There's a whole fucking website that the Navy has.
Well,
excuse me. Do you know what he said?
What?
Well, it's not a major election.
Exactly. That's.
I was like,
I know.
Who is this guy?
Attitude.
So you got people that are meant to help us, that who take their job, they don't haphazard with their job.
Well, that was the whole experience for me, unfortunately, in the office to get the elections. It was like I had to ask 4 or 5 times, ask questions, and they were getting annoyed with me. And I'm like,
I just want to
vote. And they said, well, you have to come down here, and during business hours. And I was like, what if I had a flexible job so I could do it, but I was like, what if I work 8 to 5? I can't get down there to City Hall, and City Hall's not easy to navigate, and paying for parking, and so there's no accountability to make it accessible.
Yeah, perspective, right?
Yeah.
You just said that. Think about that.
Yeah.
Flexible job, ability to pay for parking.
That's all privilege, and I knew that.
It's like, what if I don't?
Right. What if you don't have a car? Okay.
You think I'm going to City Hall?
Yeah. Right, you think you're going to City Hall, and then what if you've got a job that doesn't allow, you know what I mean? Or even just getting to vote during the hours. If there's and the day it's on a Tuesday. Yeah, the whole process of voting is not easy.
It's not. And which is why I'm so grateful for the organizations that take the time to make sure that people understand their rights.
Yes.
Right? And are able to execute or exercise their right and take on their privilege to vote and do the thing.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of organizations
that make it easier,
that are at your side to help you. So one of them, that just make sure I got the number down. One of them that you can contact on voting day, is 866 Our Vote. So if you've got a problem at the polls, if there's something wrong,
the provisional ballot.
Yes, definitely, because you've had to do a provisional ballot.
I had to do a provisional
ballot. So you can pick up the phone and call 866.
They give it to you right there.
Or you could do what?
So when I couldn't end up voting because I didn't know. It's funny, I was registering people to vote and didn't know this, but I wasn't married yet. I lived in Virginia. I didn't have a Virginia state ID. So I went to vote. I registered here, and then I realized I didn't have the appropriate stuff. But that's also something, too. There's a lack of education on what you need, right? Mm-hmm. So I registered to vote not knowing, because I was in a new state, that I need a Virginia ID. And I wasn't married, so I didn't have the proper ID.
Right.
So anyway, they gave me a provisional ballot, but I hadn't gotten married. I got married but couldn't get my ID fast enough. But yes, you can request a provisional ballot. If they tell you your address is wrong or they give you any problem to vote, you say, may I have a provisional ballot? And then you get the provisional ballot, and you have, I think it's like something between 5 and 10 days.
Depends on where you live.
Yeah, it is very
different.
Some
places, like, you got 2 days. If you don't get it 2 days.
I think I had 5 in Virginia to come back with a new ID, to come back with an address, like whatever your issue may be, they will work with you within 5 days. Now that's hard, but so you can't ever be denied to vote. Like you can ask for a provisional. Provisional's supposed to be like, okay, they said no, you've got an issue, we can try and work it out. Yeah. So that is your right, just to know.
Just to know, you should know that.
You should always.
How many people know that?
Nobody.
I didn't know anything about that until I was running during our campaign, so we were running for office.
Oh right.
And somebody was
people said we have to wait
sure
for the provisional ballots.
Another person who was being a good mentor to us was like, hey, make sure that you give out your number for election day in case anybody has a problem at the polls. And you can tell them to request a provisional ballot. You can
help them with that.
Helping us help people.
Well, it's also because our government just, in my opinion, doesn't do a good enough job educating. So I know I get it, but I that's why it goes back to what we were talking about with the Secretary of State. It doesn't sound like there's anything in place to correct the situation if the name is wrong. Yeah. It's just like, you're screwed. You made a mistake. Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and what if it wasn't you who made the mistake?
Which is, is very possible.
And why is it 70% black people? That's what I'm like.
I can't understand.
What is it?
How
Okay,
is
I
that
get
possible?
my sister's name is Shaquita. I know some people with some interesting names. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I do, I get it, but why? That to me is like, but why is it so?
Yeah, that's what, because at first I was like, well, that doesn't seem crazy to me. And then you look at the numbers.
You're like, all these. So there are what, 53,000 ballots on hold.
Okay.
Is it
Yeah,
53,000?
53,000.
Ballots on hold. Anyway, bottom line is, you're gonna go to the polls. Don't take your pet unless it's
Yeah. Or an emotional support animal.
Or yeah, you can.
And also, on a side note, don't pet them.
No, what?
Pet emotional support
Don't pet.
animals. Because people go up to them. You're not supposed to. They're,
Yeah.
they're trained to do one thing and take care of
Yes.
the person.
If you love your pet, make sure you vote.
Make sure you vote so that they live in a good, fair, free democracy.
Your pet would want you to vote, okay? If your pet could vote, they probably would.
Patriotic.
Especially if you
pet.
had a cat. A cat would probably walk their ass out of the house,
Absolutely.
go put their paw on the ballot, and come back home the next day if they want to.
That's so cute.
And then your dog would probably be like, "You want to go vote with me?"
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm excited.
You
I'm
wanna
gonna
go
go
vote? You
out.
wanna
But
go
the cats do whatever the hell they want.
Cat's like, "Oh, fuck it, I'm out.
Right.
I'm going to go
I'm
vote."
doing by myself. Well, thanks for listening to this one. It was fun.
Yeah.
I love pets. You love your pets. I love my pets.
We didn't even do so what, now what? So what?
Oh, yes. So what? I love my pets. I
Now
love
what?
my cats. I will always love my cats. I have a shameless Instagram account for my cats, and but always vote and make sure you know about the provisional ballots because no one can deny you your right to vote.
Yeah, you might need to be a resource to somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be
Yeah,
a resource.
Absolutely. So pass that on. How about you?
So what? I love my dogs. I still don't like them in my kitchen and in my bed.
Oh, I'm on that. I'm sorry to jump on. My cats are not allowed in my bedroom.
Yeah.
I mean, I sometimes leave it in there, but I shut the door. I don't want them where I sleep.
Mhm.
They poop in a litter
My-
box, and
listen.
it just grosses me out.
My husband is like, always says, if they're going to be a part of the family, then they need to be a part of the family. I disagree,
I disagree.
but respectfully, and I lose that argument, let me just say.
Do they sleep
I
with you
lost-
sometimes?
Not my dog. My dog will be in my spot and will scat when she hears me coming up. Bruce will move you. He will pull the covers off of you
No, you
to
won't.
get, yes, he will. I will wake up freezing because Bruce has shoved the covers up over him. Yes, he will. I can't stand him.
This dog.
He's a butt
More
and a half. But yeah, I don't like the cats in the kitchen, and I don't like the
dogs.
dogs in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's a my mom thing. My mom cannot stand it, but my husband is one that. But I know that my dogs would want me to vote.
Yes,
Mia especially, because she would be like, let's make sure they keep funding for the SPCA.
Yes. Rescue. That would be another one of mine. My cats are both rescues. One of them was free.
That's right.
With
We had to clear
Skipper.
the shelters.
Yes,
Clear the
Skipper
shelters.
was free. I have Sailor and Skipper was free. Like, they cleared the shelters. I told Clayton we had been wanting another one. I was like, just go. If connects with you, get her. And she's been wonderful. So
That is awesome.
rescue.
Rescue.
I'm just
Rescue.
I'm an advocate for always rescuing.
Bruce is a full-bred Versace, but he is definitely a rescue. And I think he would tell me that I should have to ask my husband if I vote. That's what Bruce would tell me. In the
Why would he say that?
Because Bruce is just so like, I do not care, woman. You do what you're supposed to do, woman. Woman, feed me, woman.
This is
woman.
Bruce's voice.
That's Bruce's voice.
Yeah.
Bruce tells the woman, you tell me the way, woman. Woman have a pet me.
I can see that.
Yeah.
He has an attitude
Get his
about
permission
everything. Yeah.
before you touch me.
Yeah.
Anyway. Nah. So I'm gonna vote November 6th.
Yep, I'm gonna vote.
I'm gonna do that. I was actually thinking about voting around my shirt, but
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that I can do
I
some
need a
work.
ballot. I need to see our ballot, our sample ballot.
Yes, and then look at
Where's
the stuff that you have on the
sample
ballot.
I don't know
Because
that.
we have two, not provisional, but two referendums
Oh, referendums.
on the ballot.
Where do you get sample ballots? Do you know?
No, I don't. But I know you can Google what's on the ballot. What's
Oh,
on my
okay. I
ballot.
didn't know that.
There's a couple websites if you Google like what's on my
I've
ballot.
seen sample ballots for the race I'm working in, but it's from the Democratic Party that puts them out. So maybe your local party does it. But see, did you see? We're very involved, like informed people, and this is still difficult.
This is still yeah. Google, my friends.
Inform
Inform
yourselves. Were you gonna say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Inform yourself.
Yeah.
If you're gonna treat yourself,
Inform
educate
yourself.
yourself.
I
Yeah.
like it. Okay, well, I
Right.
think that's it.
That's it.
Stay curious.
And make it a great day.
That was a lot of fun.